So Hawaii does not have licensure by credentials for dental specialists. They do now, but that's thanks to me, who passed a bill in 2005.
You did this independently or with the assistance of the ADA or?
Oh no, ADA didn't care. No, it had
Of
nothing to
course
do
not.
with that.
Are you tired of feeling like a contortionist after a long day working in clinical practice? This message is brought to you by our sponsors at Designs for Vision, who are offering you a 45-day free trial of any of their loops. But I strongly encourage you to try their ergonomic loops called Infinity View. Say goodbye to your chin down, neck cranked, poor posture, dental procedure and practice. All you have to do is go to their website, submit a form in order to get your rep to reach out to you, get measured, and get your loops. And then you get 45 days to figure out if you like them or if there's anything that you want to change. Or you can just send them back. But I don't think you will. So buckle up, get ready to rock the Infinity View loops and say hello to a life filled with joy, comfort, and amazing posture. Thank you, Designs for Vision, for creating these beautiful loops. I can't go back to my old ones. Ever.
Welcome back to another episode of the Tooth or Dare podcast. Peeps with your peep, Irene, and I'm joined here with a lovely human. I'd like to introduce you all to meet Dr. Amanda Wilson, a San Francisco native whose journey in dentistry has taken her to the heart of the Bay Area and the beautiful shores of Honolulu. I'm assuming that's what all the surfboards behind you are all about?
Yeah, these are my kids and my husband's. Yeah, this is also my
That's
office.
cool. I'm really excited to learn more about you. I know that you graduated dental school from UCSF, if that's right. And then
Yep.
you did a master's in dental science. And now you have an orthodontic certificate from Connecticut. You do a lot of educating and speaking, and you're very passionate about a variety of different things, which I want you to share your story with everyone here, how you got to Honolulu, and also you have some secret talents in swimming, right? You're a swimming official.
Something like that. Yeah, you got it. Okay,
That's
yeah,
cool.
cool.
Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Thank you, and aloha.
Aloha. Hey.
Wanted to welcome everybody. I know that's the beauty of Zoom. We get to meet so many great people and bring our culture and maybe our skills to other people around the world. So I'm excited to chit chat with you and your followers today.
Thank you. So let's start from the beginning, like birth. Where did you come from? Where were you born? What was your
Sure.
journey through life?
I'm a Cali girl originally, born and raised, both LA and then moved to Northern California. And no dentist in my family. So I'm not quite sure how that happened, but my teeth were pretty jacked up as a teenager. So I ended up, my parents were told that I didn't need ortho, but if you've ever seen some pictures of me, sometimes I post them on social media, you'll be like, oh my goodness, she clearly needed ortho. So I didn't actually get ortho until college. So I asked a lot of questions and I was like, this is the coolest job ever. Granted, that was in the 90s. So this is before Invisalign and Clear Correct and all that. It was just braces and appliances, but I still thought it was cool. So I went to dental school with the plan of being an orthodontist. There was no other option. It was that or fail, So I was fortunate enough to get to go back to my hometown, which was San Francisco, for dental school, which was awesome because I have a lot of younger siblings who were still at home, and that was really fun. And I met my husband in dental school. We sat next to each other at UCSF. We both had last names that started with W. So that's how it works in most dental schools, is it's alphabetical order. So it was me and Wong Wang Yang. So of course my husband's a Chinese guy.
So funny.
It's pretty funny. So that's pretty much how the Hawaii thing came in, because he's a fourth generation Hawaiian. And I was coerced to come back to Hawaii.
You wouldn't have to twist my arm very much to move to Hawaii. I would pack it up right now. Let's go. Take
my
the
skin
dogs.
doesn't
We're
love
moving.
it. My skin's a little light. So I have to be careful. So the surfboarding is not really for me. I'm the driver, but my kids and my husband do a lot of aquatic sports. And that is where the USA swimming official comes in. I'm a
You're
national
jumping
level.
so far. Hold on. I have questions.
I know I'm
She's gone
fast.
from birth to swimming lessons.
I'm
We need to go
fast.
back. We'd like
Okay,
to
go
learn
back, go
more
back.
about the journey. Okay, so
Okay.
you were a young human, you decided you wanted to be an orthodontist
Hmm.
right away.
Hmm.
What was that path like from high school to your application? Because California dental schools, even California colleges in general, are competitive. They're hard to get into. What was that? Do you remember what that kind of, final year of high
Sure,
school was like trying to get into
sure. And I
colleges?
actually have an 18-year-old right now who's actually working in
Perfect
taking a
timing.
gap year, and he's working in a OMFS dental office, doing an internship, an anesthesiology internship this year while he applies to college, and he's thinking about dental school. So that's definitely a conversation we have a lot at home. But I went to college in the Midwest. I don't think that's abnormal for people to kind of go all over the place. I went to Washington
Hmm.
University, St. Louis, which is a really great medical or pre-health professional school. So it prepares you very well for whatever profession you want to go into in the health sciences. So that's kind of how that happened, and
Yeah,
then
it
moved
sounds
back
like you had
home.
more of an easy route. Some people struggle quite a
Mhm.
bit. Sounds like your grades were probably really good too, because ortho is very competitive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did learn how to study. So I think I don't know. This sounds bad, and people are probably going to hate me for this, but I went to a very competitive high school, which pretty much I'm like the lowest achieving student out of my high school. I think. I mean, these people are like cardiothoracic surgeons, and they are billionaires that own Nasdaq companies and CEOs. And then there was me, the orthodontist. So I would say high school probably prepared me. It was just a killer. It was in the Bay Area. And so everything else was pretty easy after that. Just was really prepared from being young how to study. So once you figure out how to study, it's not that hard to get through dental school or ortho residency.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. I live in Toronto and we've got a lot of high schools that prepare you for greatness, basically. I mean, especially on the private school circuit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
there
I,
some
I was very
some
blessed.
yeah, and they're tough to get into, even if you can't afford to get into them, they're tough to get into them.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I really thank my
oftentimes,
parents for that. Yeah, for giving me that opportunity.
yeah, the curriculums are just designed in a different way, in
Yeah.
order to prepare you for the same curriculum or the way that things are taught in the college setting, or here we call it university setting. So
I saw a cute doggy behind you.
I have two. The other one's like
Wait,
over here. She's kind of
look who
camouflaged.
I got.
What
Wait,
do you got?
sorry. Wait,
Is that
he
a
doesn't
dog or
want
a
to come.
cat?
It's a cat. You might see a
Oh,
cat, but yeah,
oh,
he's
that's
like,
okay.
no, I'm not leaving. I am
We
happy
love
where I
animals.
am.
Yeah, I
But
don't
he's
know
yeah
where he just
perching and
went.
watching me.
There's usually an animal sighting on the podcast, if not on my lap, but then
Yeah, you
moving.
you get a tail and some legs. That is all you get. So
She's a cat person, people, in case you're
yes,
wondering.
yes.
Okay, so dental school happened.
Hmm.
What was dental school
Yep.
like? Was it as
It was
challenging as you expected it to be?
no. Sorry, it wasn't.
The
I mean,
brainiac.
sorry, UCSF people. I don't know. I just kind of figured it out. I had a complete blast. I think just because I never partied until I was in a
Mm.
sorority, but I never really partied until I was in dental school. And then I'm in San Francisco where everything's legal and you get to try everything. So it was just an absolute, sorry, my parents aren't listening to this, but I guess they don't care at this point. But I
Yeah.
had so much fun in San Francisco. It was the time of my life, those 4 years. And of course, met my husband and we traveled a lot. And it was a really special 4 years. I loved it. And plus, we were in San Francisco in the middle of the tech boom, which made it really cool. I mean, Google was starting and all those companies were starting, which was neat.
Mm. Yeah. And as soon as you finished dental school, then you went into ortho right away?
Like the next day, like literally, we took our board exam, our California board exam. The next morning, I'm on an airplane. And the next day, we started residency. It was insane.
Well, what's that program like?
Residency, it's, I don't know, it's not that bad. It is Um, it was different, at least when I was at University of Connecticut. I started in 2001. Yeah, that's right. There weren't really many females. It was mostly males. So I was the only female in my class. I think it's very different now. So it was definitely adjustment. There's only 4 people in a class.
Hmm.
So it was a little lonely initially, just, making friends who were female and everything. But we're pretty close, our class. And it was a fun program. We did a lot of traveling and conventions, and we learned a lot, and it had a pretty sound basis in biomechanics. So it was fun. And I liked being someplace new. I had never lived on the Northeast before, so I got to have snow and you know, fall and
Is that your
pumpkins
first
and
time
things that
seeing
we don't
in
have.
snow? First
Oh
time
no, no, no,
in,
no. I used
oh,
to ski
okay.
all the time when I was a kid, but living, I mean, I'd lived in snow in the Midwest, but it's more fun to live in snow in like where there's hills and mountains and fall foliage than where it's flat. But it was very, very festive in the fall.
When you graduated and then were ready to start practicing, did you practice in California at all or straight to Hawaii?
Oh, that is kind of a mess question. So, and people can Google that if they want. But so Hawaii does not have licensure by credentials for dental specialists or really dentists at all. They do now, but that's thanks to me who passed a bill in 2005. So we won't get into that. I firmly believe that especially any dental specialist, let alone any dentist, should have licensure by credentials. And now they have the 8X exam, which gives you a lot more flexibility. But back then, you only took like a state exam, and then you really couldn't move from state to state without going in to retake a physical exam. Now, as an orthodontist, my practice is limited to orthodontics, so it's a gray area, right? How are you going to go back after so many years and do
Do a
endo and
filling.
do
Yeah.
perio and do a crown prep? I mean, it's just not going to be great. So when I first came, they were in transition, and there was no way to get your license here in Hawaii. And then so I had so much free time. I was traveling back and forth to California where I had practices, basically 1 week on, like 1 week off. Luckily at that time, orthodontists were so in need in California that the companies I worked for paid for my travel, my hotel,
Oh,
my car, and
wow.
my flights. So, and they paid
Amazing.
really well. That was actually kind of fun for me because we didn't have kids yet. And, so it was really fun. I earned up a lot of flight miles
Sounds
and,
like it.
airline status and hotel status, which now is now lifetime. So I mean, I don't regret that at all. That was a blast. But yeah, so I ended up passing a bill with the legislator. Spent a whole year lobbying it, which is fun because the doctors,
Wait, how do you do that? How do you just write a bill
uh,
and like I'm going to
oh,
lobby this?
you have to go meet with all kinds of people and pitch your why you think it's good for society, why is it good for the state. We have a lack of healthcare providers on outer islands, blah blah blah, and so they
And you
helped
did
me
this
write it.
independently or with the assistance of
I
the ADA or
Oh no, ADA didn't care.
of
No, 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 it had nothing to
course
do
not.
with that. No, I mean, I had to find senators and state representatives who would support it and would help me write the bill. But mostly they did it, and I just gave them ideas on how to write the bill, and why it would
Wow.
benefit the state. But it ended up being a terribly divisive bill because all the existing specialists and dentists were furious that this would bring more
Mm.
competition in because it had been very difficult, for people to come in. And I'm not even going to get into some of the racial bias that went into it. So where we won't get into some of the drama, but I mean, there's always been a history of bias in the state, but we won't get there. But Yeah, it ended up passing, but then there ended up being so many protests from existing dentists and just lobbyists that they ended up shutting it down, and it's called a sunset. So I was never able to get my license here, just due to drama. And it went into
For
litigation. But
all
anyways,
that.
yeah, all that time, effort, and money. And a lot of people benefited, but I didn't benefit. But I got a lot of fruit baskets from other dentists who were able to make their whole lives here. So at the time, my husband and I just got frustrated, and he was able to get reciprocity in California. So we moved back to California for 5 years to practice. And then we came back here again. It's been interesting. You don't always think this is going to be your journey, right?
Yeah.
We came back again because we had little kids, and we felt that they would be better raised here. It's kind of like a small town, a lot of family, people very safe, people always looking out for you, a lot of culture. And we just didn't feel that in California. So we moved back here, and the idea was that I was going to be a stay-at-home parent, but of course I can never stay at home, and I always loved dentistry and orthodontics. So I said, hey, I had been doing some side hustles at the time, helping people with their ClinChecks and their Invisalign cases, helping general dentists while I was in California. And I said, why not make this a virtual business? And that's when that started in 2013.
And that's Straight Smile Solutions, right?
It wasn't originally called that. That didn't get branded until 2016. I had all kind of weird names for it. What
was some of the weird names? I love hearing the previous versions.
I don't even know if I trademarked them. It was like Aloha Orthodontic Consultancy, maybe, or something like that. I don't remember what I called them, but probably had no name. But officially, it was a full-fledged, business in 2016 that I launched that was online. And this was even before COVID. COVID actually helped it a lot because dentists were realizing like how virtual consults and Zoom work. And I was using Zoom before Zoom was a thing. And I know you're using it. So I'm on my 8th year now doing what I'm doing, and I absolutely love it. And going into the swimming thing, which now we just connected the dots. Who would have known? My kids moved here and we didn't think they were athletes at all. And I guess they were just playing around in swim lessons at this school. And some athletic director, he saw something in my older one and he said, this kid has talent. I think you should make him a swimmer. And he was terrible at all other sports. But he was big, so we said, okay. And he went all in, and now he's going to be swimming competitively, possibly in the 2028. He's going to go for 2028 Olympic Games, but he'll be swimming competitively in college. Yeah. And my daughter as well. So so thank goodness all this happened for a reason, all this drama, because sometimes things happen to you and you're like, why? There's no way without one of us being two dentists having our own practices, there's no way we would have the flexibility that you have to have that kind of level of caliber of athlete, because you travel all over the place at the drop of a hat, it would be impossible. So I'm really, really just blessed the way, I'm not going to bring religion into this, but whatever higher powers made my life happen the way that they happened, I just feel really blessed. And thank you to everyone who supports me, in my side hustle, which is now a business, because it supports my family and I really appreciate it. And it's been awesome.
Yeah. It's interesting. You make plans and then life unfolds in a completely different way.
That was not the plan, but so my husband has 3 practices now. He's the one that's doing all the clinical hours, but I definitely contribute and do my part. And I have the most flexibility.
That's great. So wait, you've never been able to practice in Hawaii?
No, it's never going to happen. So, and that's fine with me. To be honest, the overhead is ridiculous and the insurance reimbursement is one of the worst in the country. And after looking at the numbers of it, I'm like, why would I want to? I do fine doing what I do now. And we do have a practice in California. We haven't added ortho to it yet. The GPs are doing some, but we haven't like full on added ortho, but that option is there. We bought one last year and it's in a gorgeous, actually really close to both my parents. So once my kids go off to college,
once the kids are off to college, then maybe you can do your week, every other week again.
We might be living there, but I don't know. We might be on and off, back and forth. But my husband's actually there 1 week a month right now. He's doing it now, so he's actually gone right now, which allows me to
going back and forth.
Yeah. So
that's an interesting dynamic. That's really cool. That is really
cool. My mother-in-law is 92, so it's a blessing that I can stay and check in on her and make sure she's taken care of.
Yeah, 92. Wow.
Mm-hmm. People live a long time here.
There's another little blue zone rolling around here. Excuse me, ma'am.
Fine.
We're doing a recording here, ma'am.
I think
you'd like to come and say hello.
Mine's on his tummy showing, but he's not going to show you his tummy. So
there we go. All right.
Hello. What's his name?
Her name is Olivia, and the other one is Lou.
Oh, that's my daughter's name.
Really? She's not a swimmer.
That's a great name.
No.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, but she goes by Livy. She
was originally Olive, and then when I adopted her, I renamed her to Olivia.
Cute. Let me see if I can grab this guy. Hang on. I'm going to grab him real quick because it'll be way cuter if I can have him.
Podcast with the pets. This should be the episode title. There we go.
There is Vinny.
Hey, Vinny.
And there he goes. That's all you get.
Yeah. We're going to kick her away, too. I played Division 1 tennis. So I
Oh,
know
no way. What
know
school?
all FSU, Florida
Oh, wow.
State.
That's on my Olivia's list. It has
Oh, great.
nursing
It's a great
swimming.
school.
So
Great school.
yeah, that's a really good swim school. Good for you.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was
Cool.
so I get the discipline that goes into my mom stopped working for a few years in order to really
Mhm.
like lean into my tennis and driving to tennis tournaments in my earlier years. So I don't know if it's the
Mhm.
same for swimming as it is for tennis, but between the ages of 13 and 16 are a
Mhm.
very pivotal moment for tennis players, and the
Mhm.
tournaments that you enter are so important. It
Yeah.
I live in Canada, so we have a provincial system, and your provincial ranking really dictates, whether you're seeded in a tournament and how far you'll get along. And I guess for swimming, it's which lane position you're in. That how that
Yeah.
works. So
Yeah.
the better your times
Exactly.
are, then the better your lane position is. So
Mhm.
in tennis, it's a
That is your
seeding versus
heat. Yeah. Mhm.
your heat and your lane position. So my mom,
Yeah.
sacrificed a few years in order to make sure that I got to where I needed to go. And when you're 13, you can't make decisions on your own. So it was a lot. It was a lot for her, but
Yeah.
I'm also
My son
very
is 18
grateful.
now. So he likes to travel by himself. He likes for me not to come with him. So he's like, bye,
Yeah.
hug, peace out. I'm going with coach.
Bye, Mom. I'm out of
Um,
here.
yeah, my daughter gets me coming along because I don't like to send 15-year-olds by themselves with a bunch of,
Yeah,
especially a lot of boys.
I
So
know. I started college at 16, so I skipped a couple of
my
grades. Yeah, and
goodness,
I'm born in October, so I turned 17
you
the
were
first
living at
year,
FSU as a 16-year-old?
16 and almost a bit, almost
That
17.
must have
Yeah,
been insane.
my
Holy
nickname
cow, I
was
can't
Jailbait.
imagine.
That was
Yeah,
my
wow.
nickname. No boys
Oh
would come
yeah,
near me. I was
yeah.
I was off limits. So, anywho, a
Wow.
story
You
for
must have
another
been
day,
pretty
but
good. Yeah,
a
for a
story for
Power
another
Five
day.
to recruit you at 16. Wow. Very good.
Yeah, story for another day. But let's bring you back for a part two next week. For those of you that are listening, right on the nose of the day that this gets released. Let's come back for part two with Dr. Wilson, where we'll talk about kind of the strategies around doing these virtual consults. How do you help docs do their clin checks, and what types of things do you
Great.
work through with them? Let's do that in a part two. Sounds great.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Until next week. Peace out, Pete.